Hey guys, welcome back. Turbo2 here today with a new video. Now, you might remember about 4 months ago, I put up a video, a little thing called I Was in a Movie That May Never Come Out. I put that video up, and I was talking about 2 years ago, I did a small little bit of extra work for a Canadian film called Range Roads. Now, I talked about it in that video, but because of COVID, the movie got inevitably delayed again. Well, it just so happens that it actually came out, and I just watched it last night. Now, in the original video, I talked about how I was in a bar scene in the movie, and it's sort of a drama, it's not really a romance, it's sort of just like a drama movie, but the director had other good movies that were well-reviewed. This one finally came out. It was in the Calgary Film Festival here in Canada, so they finally got to actually release it. So I bought a ticket to that. I watched the dang darn thing online. And it's okay. But today, we're not going to really talk about that as much as we are going to talk about the fact that that they cut almost my entire scene's gone, boys. You hate to see it. But we're going to talk more about that. So the original thing that I showed you guys was back in 2019. I was in this. I had a little chance just to do some extra work. Now, I was there all day in a small town here, about an hour away from where I live, I think. Something like that. So I drove out there. I took the day off work just for this extras thing. And I'll show you guys some of that now. I have a little bit of footage of it. Now, we were there, and you can see in this shot, I guess I should show you the real movie first. Let's just look at it, right? I was there all day. That's the whole point. And now let's watch the scene that made it into the movie. So this is going to be the entirety of the scene. I don't think I'll get in any trouble or anything. It's only 40 seconds long. I was there for hours. So this is the scene here. Now she comes into the bar. She's looking around. Sees the old cowboy, and then they do some dancing. As you can see, they're dancing, having an old time. Oh, what was that? Did you guys see that? Did you happen to notice? Who was that handsome gentleman in the background who stole the show? Who was that? Oh, could it be? Is it possible? Who was that guy? I mean, the movie's okay, but I'm really curious about who's this guy in the background with the caveman homunculus sort of facial structure. That man with the extended brow and massive chin, that guy is stealing the show. You can tell now. You can tell it's me. Here, I'll give you guys. You can tell it's me. Imagine I'm in the background. Maybe add a blur here. Imagine I'm very blurred, then I'm in the background and I go one of these moves. You can tell that's me. See the facial structure. You can tell that's me in the background. You see, I kind of stole the show, whether that was intentional or not. Maybe recognized talent, but I sort of stole the show. I was so distracted from the scene once I saw that extra back there. Just, oh my goodness. So anyways, that's the whole thing. That's the entire thing that made it into the movie. Now, back to what I was saying is that I was there for the whole day. You guys can see in this original stuff that the original scene, and maybe there'll be a deleted scenes or something, because then there would be a lot more of me, which of course is what we're all here for. So in the original scene, I had a cue. I had to walk across camera. I had to do all this shit. I wasn't, don't spike the lens, yada yada yada. I remember I talked about in my original video, I had to do a fake sort of talking scene. In that scene, when she first comes in through the front door, you can see on the left of frame, there's a girl there taking a drink. I was left of her. I was one more stool over, and I had to just sort of fake talk with her. So I got cut out of that scene just by a hair. And then the whole scene was supposed to be, she comes in and she has some lines with this bartender. You can see him in my one snap on the right side. So she comes in, she's like, I'll take our whiskey. And then he's like, oh, Frankie, you're back in town? And she's like, not for long, just for a little bit. Oh, I heard about your parents, that's real sad. There was a few lines back and forth. Well, I feel worse for that guy, because his whole thing is cut. So I feel like maybe it'll be in a deleted scene. But they were supposed to talk back and forth. She pours him a drink, and then she sees the cowboy guy. And then there's also this big scene where she's supposed to look at this like younger girl dancing as sort of like a, I wish I was in my youth kind of look. You can see it. I'll try and zoom in for you guys. You can see they filmed the whole thing with this girl just dancing with the lights, and they're supposed to have music in post, and it's just kind of her dancing. There's supposed to be a longing kind of shot. That whole thing is gone. The whole thing with the bartender is gone. And then like while she was talking to the cowboy, there's supposed to be like a dialogue part I had to walk past, and then there's the dancing part later. So the dancing, we had to just dance around with no music. It was kind of awkward, but that's my whole bit that made it in. Now the thing is, that seems bad because I made it about 4 seconds into the final cut of the movie. But all these other people, I mean, the bartender had lines, and all these other guys that were there that day, like there was at least like 6 or 7 of us, all just cut. That one girl's back got in, I guess. But I'm the only one with a face in the movie, so I might, maybe chalk that up as a win. I was there the whole day though, well, half a day anyways, and they cut it all out. So maybe there'll be like a director's cut. Is there an extended director's edition of Range Roads that I could maybe get my hands on? Because some deleted scenes, DVD bonus features. Because then I would be in it, I believe, a lot more. Because he shot the whole thing. But I guess, that just shows what makes it into the movie and what doesn't. As for the actual movie, not bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. Well, it was good. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, I should say. But it was shot really well, actually. That's the main key thing I was noticing was how well shot it was. So director and cinematographer and everything like that was very good. It was pretty slow, as you would imagine. And I wasn't a big fan of there's an anticlimax. Nothing really happens. The ending's kind of just eh. But at the end of the day, I got my name in the credits. So, I mean...
There it is! That's me! On the right side.
I see it.
Oh, in this mass wall of text. That's me. Oh.
Pretty good, and it actually exists, which, there's a good chance with a Canadian film that doesn't even happen. But it actually exists, so we've got that going for us. First official credit in a film, it can only go up from here. There's really no way to have less in a movie. I can't have less contribution to a movie than what I had, which was 3 seconds. It can only go up. Next time I'm going to aim for 5 seconds and maybe less blur. This guy really likes his blurs. Every single scene was fucking blurred. A lot of depth of field work. But anyways, that's about it, guys. I just wanted to update you. It's actually not a bad movie. I don't know if it's going to actually come out like on disc in any way, or what's going to happen with it. The way I had to watch it was just renting it through the Calgary Film Festival, so you get 48 hours to watch it. But, you gotta do what you gotta do. Could have been worse, could have been a lot better, but I'm technically in a movie. Whether you can call a Canadian film a movie is still up for debate, but I'm in something, so not bad. Anyways, that's about it. I wanted to update you guys because I was really thinking it wasn't going to come out, and that's pretty much about it. So Range Roads, it exists, and it has a good review. It's got an 8.4, I think, on IMDb, which is pretty good, especially for a Canadian film. So not bad at all. Maybe it just wasn't my cup of tea, because it definitely wasn't bad. It just didn't knock my socks off or anything. But it was better than I expected, so that's going to have to do for me. If you want an official number, I'd give it a 7 probably. A generous 7, I would say. But that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. If I don't go big, of course. If I'm not in Hollywood, I'll make a new video unless Hollywood calls. Because I know the Oscars just happened. Maybe they forgot to call me or something like that. So if that doesn't happen, then I'll see you guys in the next video. Otherwise, you might have to, catch me on the red carpet or something like that. But thank you to everyone from the Returnal video as well. I had a big spike in subs, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.